we turn to Ambassador William Roebuck, Executive Vice President of the Arab Gulf States Institute and a senior advisor to the Special Representative for Syria. Mr. Ambassador, great to be with you today. As we heard from Owen, the Secretary of State is headed to the Middle East. What would you like to see and hear from him? And are you concerned about a threat from ISIS?
I think, to take your latter question, Tracy, there remains a significant threat from ISIS. They are primarily located in ungoverned space in some of these places between major cities in Syria. And those 900 U.S. troops are working closely with our partners over there, the Syrian Democratic Forces, on that problem set. So it remains a significant threat. And I think one of the things that Secretary Blinken will talk about, I know he's going to Turkey. My hope is that he will talk to the Turkish officials and urge them not to attack Syrian Democratic Forces, our partners, because it will distract from the fight against ISIS. It will put the prisons in northeastern Syria that are detaining these ISIS fighters that have been caught and captured. It will put those prisons under a significant threat. It will also make it difficult for the Syrian Democratic Forces to guard the bases where our troops are located. So it's a tough problem set, and I'm hoping that when he goes to Turkey, he will raise these issues.
Yeah, and Mr. Ambassador, there's also a lot of concern right now about the Christian population in Syria and other religious and ethnic minorities. In fact, speaking of the Secretary of State, he said earlier today that he is not confident that HTS, the rebel group, will protect minorities there. What say you?
It's a significant challenge. In these types of transitions, when we see what has happened in the past, in the beginning, there has been a relative calm, and then sometimes that calm has not lasted. My hope is that they find a way to create some sort of coalition government and a transition that will be stable and that it will be able to protect the minority populations in Syria, including, of course, the significant Christian population, which is primarily located in Damascus and the greater Damascus area, but is also in other parts of Syria.
Yeah, and I know in a recent article that you wrote that the clear winners in the removal of the Assad regime are Turkey and Qatar, and the clear losers are Iran and, to the lesser extent, Russia. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that and why you say this?
Well, I think Hayat Tahrir Sham, HTS, has relations with Turkey. I think Turkey gave them some assistance, although they're not as close a proxy as some of the other groups Turkey works with. I think there clearly was some coordination and help, and Turkey stands to benefit a lot. They oppose the Assad regime, and they're, of course, happy to see the Assad regime go. And this situation with HTS will give them a lot of influence in Turkey, in Syria, and in the way that things move forward in Syria. As far as Russia and Iran, Iran, of course, has had a massive strategic defeat in Syria, and that's going to reverberate for the weeks and months ahead. All their forces have had to be pulled out. They've lost all of that influence, and they had massive influence in Syria. So it's a huge strategic setback for Iran. For Russia, it is also a significant strategic setback, but the final chapter hasn't been written for Russia yet. A lot of their forces are still in those bases that they have in Tartus on the coast and in Latakia, the air base, and they, I think, are trying with the forces that ousted Assad to keep those bases and to keep access to them. And we'll see in the coming days and weeks if they're able to do that.
Mr. Ambassador, we are almost out of time, but quickly, I want to pick your brain about this. President-elect Donald Trump has basically said that we should stay out of Syria. I want to know what you think about that. Is that possible?
I think we should keep our troops in northeastern Syria. I think they're doing an absolutely vital fight against ISIS. I'm hopeful that President-elect Trump will make that decision to keep those troops there. and to continue our partnership with the SDF in the fight against ISIS.
Okay, we're going to leave it right there. Thank you, sir, so much for your insights. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tracy.